Hello, everybody. Today is Wednesday, the 21st of August. Welcome to the Mouth of Madness, which is being held at the ever so sunny, ever so lime green walled filled CFRE studios at University of Toronto, Mississauga. I'm your host, Matthew DeLeo. We have a very important show today. We've got in a very special band that I saw 2 weeks ago, known as the Souls. We're going to be conducting a two-on-one interview, a one-on-two interview, I'm not sure, with Din and Adam of the band. In the meantime, though, quickly counting off, I'd like to quickly address the people who are listening in on today's broadcast by saying, last week on the show, I ended up saying something, and everyone on the internet basically lost their damn minds. I was talking about how I'm basically, when I was at a Real Big Fish concert and Goldfinger concert, that I basically got knocked the crap out by being in the mosh pit, and I said something along the lines of, I am 167, I'm a twig, my girlfriend is actually heavier than I am. And then once those words escaped my mouth, everyone on my friends list, everyone on Twitter, everyone on Tumblr began saying, I can't believe you called your girlfriend fat over the radio. And I'm like, no, I didn't do that. I'm saying my girlfriend is actually quite tall for her age. She's actually about the same height as me. But I am 167. That is below normal weight for someone of my height. I'm basically 5'11". So I'm saying, as compared, she's healthy. I make anorexics go, man, you really need to tone that down. But either way, we are live in CFRE studio, and I am greeted here by Adam and Din of the Souls. Thank you very much for coming down to our studios.
Well, it's great to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about the Souls, for example. Now, I saw you guys 2 weeks ago, I believe?
A week ago.
A week? Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. I saw you a week ago performing at New Music Night at the Horseshoe Tavern, and you were doing in promotion with 102.1 The Edge, and you were doing it as part of New Music Night?
Yep. New Music Night.
And so... go ahead.
And we're the Souls, S-O-L-E-S.
Yes.
I'd just like to clarify that. People are Googling us right now.
Yeah. S-O-L-E-S, not S-O-U-L-S. But either way. So tell me, what are your future plans? You're doing 102.1 The Edge. You guys are going to make the radio anytime soon, I hope?
102.1?
Yeah.
Well, the story with that is that, I don't know if you know Alan Cross?
Yes, I love Alan Cross.
So I emailed him out of nowhere introducing him to our song Broken Ghost, single off our last EP in 2011. Mm-hmm. And he found it interesting, and he responded right away and said, we'll start you off on our website, which used to be called exploremusic.com. Now he's got a new one. And so then we thought we'd play the 102.1 New Music Night as well to, help with that. But now Alan actually has another station, 88.1. So we more hope to get on that one.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Well, that would definitely be cool. Now, I believe you were the original founding member of the Souls.
Yes.
The Souls was formed in 2001. Adam, when did you join on?
I joined last September.
Okay, so you're fairly new.
Fairly new, but kind of one of the older ones now.
Yeah, and we were a real band in the beginning.
Oh,
We
okay.
were members, and then
A real band?
is in members.
Okay.
Not just hiring guns to play with you. Mm-hmm. And my two members were high school friends, and they got domesticated and married and had to leave. And then I sort of had a bunch of hired people play for a while as I kept things together. And then only recently did the pieces really start to fall in with members like Adam and Mark, who'd been my producer and mentor for a long time, eventually joined as a member too, and now Austin, our drummer. So kind of a real band again.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys have the ability to get all these session musicians come out. I saw Rich, also known as Dick Black Fairhorn, who was playing bass with you guys. He played bass with us for a little while, and but anyway.
Yeah, he's our one session guy right now.
Yeah. Let's we all like a little bit of an origin story. So let's set the stage. First of all, what are your influences, Adam?
Well, I see you have a Radiohead poster. That's like
Okay.
kind of number one. U2, Gang of Four, and Joy Division. I guess would be like the top ones.
So basically, British bands, 80s, 90s.
Post-punk, yeah.
Post-punk, yeah.
Yeah.
And Din, what about you?
I'm very post-punk too.
Okay.
Definitely. But when I was a kid, it was David Bowie.
Oh, wow.
I was totally in love with the two tape greatest hits that had the old stuff and then the 80s stuff.
Yeah.
But I love the 80s stuff too, like Let's Dance and all that stuff. And China Girl, which was an Iggy Pop song, Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop and the Stooges. Sorry, I don't mean to derail your thought. Could you please get closer to the microphone?
Yes, I can.
So that everybody on the radio can be able to hear you as well as fans.
I can talk and I could project into it with my baritone.
Oh, that would work brilliant too. Although I don't hear you sing baritone very often at the Souls. What is? Are you tenor? Much?
Yeah, I sing tenor a lot, but I am a baritone trained.
Oh, really?
Tenor. Yeah, 3-octave range, but
okay.
It's a little bit smaller because of smoking lately. And my girlfriend always wants me to sing baritone because she thinks it's sexier.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. And I'd recommend that microphone that you're using is actually pretty crap too. So I'm sorry. Please don't get me thrown off the air.
There's nothing wrong with the 58.
Okay.
These ones really bring out the low end.
Yeah.
That's good.
So let's go back in time here. The band was formed in 2001 with you and a bunch of high school friends.
February 16th, 2001 at Free Times Cafe, Toronto. Mm-hmm. I took an opening spot.
Okay.
I went to OCAD to do art. And my plan was I'm going to do this as well as I can because I'm good at it and I like it. And then I'm going to get it out of my system and just do music. And, I liked Brian Ferry, John Lennon, people that went to art school, and I thought art school had a really good influence on them musically, conceptually. So I thought it would work for music. And I made demo tapes all along. As soon as I graduated, I went into music, played the show. I graduated in 2001. I played the show February 16th. It was my younger brother's birthday, and he was even at the show. And I played solo, and I really hated playing solo.
Okay.
And
I'm trying to push the mic closer to you.
I really hated playing solo. So
there we go.
I got off stage and saw two high school friends in the audience and asked them if they wanted to start a band. Well, and then one of them mentioned Traveling Souls at one of our first practices, like SOULS, and I just said, how about the Souls, SOLES?
And the name stuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys started doing gigs in around Toronto, Free Times Cafe. So your first album release was in 2008. Is that correct?
We did a demo. We did a full-length album in 2004 called The Souls LP, but it's just a glorified demo.
Okay.
Yeah. But our first real official album that's on iTunes and everywhere was 2008.
Mm-hmm. And the album was called...
You Burst Into Fire Again.
You Burst Into Fire Again. I'm sorry, I have everything on my computer, and I just don't have it here, so I just skim through. No.
It's okay.
So from that album, you started gaining popularity with U.S. college radio stations, or how did you?
There is a guy in the States that has a network of, at the time it was 50 stations across the States, and they're commercial, and it's called the Undercurrents Radio Network, and he's also native, and he liked our song Sky in the Name of You, which was about my experience at a no uranium mine blockade by First Nations outside near Ottawa, Ontario. It's called Charbet Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is a catchy song, but it's, we really liked that, and he played that a lot.
Mm-hmm. So, continuing on, you basically were giving the album away, and you eventually you've toured a bit in the States before catching your first big break, which we'll get into that. According to, I really want to get into that, but how many you've released? This is your forthcoming album. The one that you're currently working on, according to your bio.
Our third album.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, you put out the album, and then how did you get on a tour? How did you promote yourselves? How did the ball get rolling? Because you put out the first one.
The ball got rolling that I just started doing open mics every night in Toronto. So from 2006, well, okay. It's such a long story. We played one big show about every 3 months.
Yeah.
With that original lineup.
Okay.
And then when they left, I just had myself, so I went and I did open mics 3 to 6 nights a week from 2006 to 2009. Mm-hmm. That's all. I did that all the time. And then I met Mark at one of them, who became my mentor, and then producer, and then band member. Mm-hmm. And he's a successful musician in his own right, indie native rock musician, in a project called Najwan that he toured all over North America, tons of CBC radio play festivals, really notable festivals too. He had like a real career with this, and he really invented a kind of native indie rock. And so he mentored me. So the first thing he said to me was, "Do you want to be famous, or do you want to have a career?"
How did you answer him?
I said, well, I guess I'd rather have a career because I wouldn't want to stop doing it. And I guess sometimes famous people just fall off the map. So then he started giving me to-dos, like any good mentor would, like apply to this festival, send your stuff to this radio station, let's apply to that out-of-town show. And I would do it, and every one that he told me to do, I would do until it started to snowball, and we were playing all over the place.
So tell me how you managed in 2010 to be part of the Winter Olympics Vancouver showcase.
Well, that's
because that was your launching point.
Well, that was a mischievous. That booking did get us the Seattle Northwest Folk Life Festival gig a few months after, because that was notable. But it was kind of mischievous. I mean, it was Mark's booking, and then Mark had a slot for an hour and booked the Souls in his slot to showcase us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So was it
sneaky?
Was it televised though? Like, because I know after the Olympic ceremonies, they go in, they show all the different concerts on CBC and CTV, and
no, our part wasn't televised.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it just looked good on our resume and got us a lot of stuff.
Okay. So Adam. You are new to the band. How did you play any bands before joining the Souls?
Yeah, I'm a songwriter as well.
Okay.
So, I haven't really contributed anything to this band yet, but it's...
you will, trust me.
Yeah, it's still in the works. Yeah, like I joined this band. It was a really kind of a weird thing. I was working at Winners, and Din came in, and he was returning some pants because the zipper broke. And you were playing in Thunder Bay, I think.
Yeah, and then my new pants, I gained weight and the zippers weren't working, so.
Yeah, and I asked him, what were you doing in Thunder Bay? Oh, my band was up there. So he gave me a sticker, and I looked into it, and it seemed like something that I really wanted to be a part of. So we had one jam session, talked about like our influences and how similar they were, and that's how I pretty much got in the band.
Mm-hmm.
So did you have any band experience before, or was it?
Oh yeah. I had my own band for about a year when I was living in London.
Okay.
Because I went to school at Fanshawe.
So Fanshawe is a college. So did you form this in high school, or did you form it actually in college?
I formed it at college. I went for like music industry arts, so
Okay.
I was like surrounded with musicians, and then it dissolved. They kind of went off and did their own things, and about a year later, I was in this band, and it's better.
Well, I'll say. So let's start off by playing a song. Let's see what we got here. Can
I just interject one thing there?
Sure.
Adam is writing parts for the songs that are very distinct, and he's a songwriter in the band. So Over the Wall, especially.
Yeah, but I mean, like
that are completely changing the song to a different song. So
this is true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's see. What song would you like to hear over the radio first? What's your order? What's the method to madness here?
Well, should we start with? We talked about Sky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sky. Let me see. Joy. No, we talked about Shadows, actually, didn't we?
Not yet. No. We talked about Sky and Broken Ghost.
Okay, let's go with Broken Ghost. This is Broken Ghost on CFRE Radio.
All the people that
Hello, everybody. That was The Souls, and that was... no, that's not Over the Wall. What are you thinking, computer? Jesus. No, no, that was Broken Ghost by The Souls, and we are joined by The Souls live in studio. I've got Din, I've got Adam, and so getting back into it, what can you tell me about Broken Ghost? Like, what was going through your mind as you were writing it?
Rob Ford was going through my mind, actually. And,
what about Rob Ford?
Well, I live in Parkdale, and we have the Mental Health Institute there, CAMH.
Okay.
And I have a really high respect for it. Mental disease is the highest rising disease in our culture, in our society, and I just felt like that the things that Rob Ford was saying when he was elected was really cruel towards homeless people, and I just wanted to ask myself, like, what makes a homeless person? And I knew people who worked on the streets, and I talked to them, and basically that usually it's a emotional, psychological problem, not anything else. So no one can touch a broken ghost. Sort of a lot of people running from things that if no one can see you, then they can't hurt you, that kind of thing.
So, do you have any other songs that were motivated for political reasons, or because once again you wrote Broken Ghost primarily because of what Rob Ford and also how we felt about homeless people? So, do you have any other songs that you've primarily done that for political reasons, or?
Yeah, Sky in the Name of You.
Okay. The infamous song that I'm kicking myself in the back of the head for.
No, I think that I didn't send it by accident.
Whisper as well. Right?
A new song called Whisper.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one is about how Jacques Cartier, his first visit to Canada, his boat got caught in the ice off the Gulf of Newfoundland, the coast of Newfoundland, and they were getting scurvy, and they prayed to God for someone to help them, and the chief, first contact with natives in Canada, and the chiefs sent out his sons to go help these people, and took them some kind of soup concoction and healed them. And then Jacques Cartier responded by stealing a couple of the sons and taking them back to France to show the king what he got. So it's a song about the myth of reevaluating the myth of our history of first contact and all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I first ran into you guys at a little hole in the wall known as Not My Dog, summer of 2012. You remember, don't you?
Yeah.
You've performed festival shows, but every once in a while you're... Oh, no. Sorry, you perform festival shows, but how did you get into Not My Dog? Because from what I've gathered, you've performed on some pretty big stages. I've seen your stuff on YouTube, but you still take time to do hole-in-the-wall venues.
Yeah, that was one of the places that I played every week, the open mic at Not My Dog.
Back in the day, yeah?
Yeah, I used to do it every week religiously. That was one of them that I... And
Supermarket as well?
Supermarket, Free Times Cafe on Monday. There was Liberty Village, and there was Liberty Bistro and Liberty Village. There's tons.
Unicorn? Tons. Grace O'Malley's?
I've never done those ones.
Oh, okay.
Relish Bar in the East End. There was one, Mitzi's Sister in Parkdale. And
the Central.
Transac, the Central. Well, they didn't have an open mic at the Central, but it's one of the places we've
played. Yeah.
So you come from London, Ontario, is that?
I come from south of that, but yeah, sort of.
Wow, you've done your homework.
Just a bit. I try to know a little bit about my band before going in. What was it like? Because you've done tours across Canada. You've gone into a bit of the U.S. What was it like on your first tour experience? I'm asking Din first, and then we're going into...
Okay.
Well, the first far tour experience was Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay.
A couple shows up that way. We always do mini tours, so 2 or 3 or 4 shows.
Yeah.
Because that's all we can afford. So little mini micro-marketed tours. And in Sault Ste. Marie, I found that touring gave me an anxiety of being stressed and out of your element and missing people that made me play really intense. Yeah. So I'm usually a really active performer, but when I'm on the road, it's even worse.
Oh, wow.
And people seem to like it, and 20 kids came out to our show, and they gave us a big encore.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, this is what people talk about when you're on the road and you get a little strange and a kind of magical thing takes over. And I think our shows on the road are more special.
Well, I haven't really seen you guys as part of going on the road because you are a Toronto-based band, but I definitely have to say that through watching you at the Horseshoe Tavern or through watching you at Not My Dog, you definitely have an interesting stage presence about you. Like I think a couple times, like one of the things is that you put your foot off the monitor and then you just like kick back. Your one foot's straight in the air and the other one's just sort of bent back, and you're going around almost doing a Chuck Berry thing. And it's interesting because 2 weeks ago I had Lionel Gressinen from a little band called Zephyr. Do you engage? Well, you obviously engage with your fans, but why is it that you choose to engage with your fans as opposed to most rock bands who just say, screw it, it's rock and roll, they can either love me or they hate me type thing?
Well, this is good. If you were to ask me what's my favorite thing to do in life, I would say singing.
Okay.
If you were to ask me what it gives you that no other experience really gives you, I would say it lets me express myself in a way that makes me feel connected to people. Like I like to paint, but if I put up a painting, I don't really feel connected to people as they look at it. If I express myself while singing, sometimes that thing happens where your whole band is into each other, and then the room is into the band, and you're into the room, and you actually feel like one. And I feel like that's somewhat of a spiritual microcosm happening, where something happens to make people actually feel like one, and that's addictive. And when that happens, every night I want to make that happen.
Well, I know definitely after the gig at the Horseshoe Tavern, you had people on you asking you for things, as well as me trying to get you in to come here to do the interview. But Adam, you completely disappeared right after the show, and I was sitting there scratching my head, going, "Where's the rest of the band members? I see Rich, I see Din, but where did you go after that?"
Well, I had to go home because I had to work early the next day.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Because I was sitting there for a second wondering if you were introverted or if you leave that.
No,
portion
God,
to-
no. I would have really liked to stick around. I always love hanging around after shows and just like feeding off of that energy, because there's nothing like playing live like that, especially at the Horseshoe. I mean, that was like a goal. When I moved to Toronto, I was like, I'm gonna play the Horseshoe. Then it happened, and I was like really stoked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when people come out, you feel like with sex you connect to one person. With a good show, you connect to more.
Exactly.
So that night it felt
No,
like
it's true.
Yeah.
What kind of sex are you having?
On the spiritual level.
Well, I'll keep that in mind the next time I have a coke-filled orgy. But no. So.
Yep.
I can't believe I just said that over radio. So you guys both work. You work a part-time gig while you're doing the Souls as well. Do you also have something on the side, like part-time work or full-time?
Yeah, I do. I work a lot of contracts.
So how do you manage that and the band and touring at the same time?
Well, the thing with contracts is I always have space in between them to book stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, I wouldn't mind something a little more steady sometimes, because the erraticness can stress you out when you're worried about bills. But you do need the freedom to be able to book things and to go away. Work at United Way. I'll be working there again soon.
Okay.
Harbourfront. I was helping with plan festivals at Harbourfront Centre, and I got fired.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't that be one of those good things if I make it as a musician?
Yeah.
He got fired from Harbourfront, the
In
festival
your
place.
face, Harbourfront Festival.
And now I'm headlining festivals in Thunder Bay.
Definitely.
So take that, HFC.
Booyah. Well, how do you manage to juggle your part-time workout?
Oh, it's really hard. I actually just got another job. I drive delivery, and I work at a grocery store. So it's like juggling just those two. Then also have like a music internship that's like based out of LA, and I'm doing work with Mark, who's in the band, as well as doing work with the Souls. So it's like insane to find the time, but I don't know. We just do it. Like for shows for the Souls, I just basically have to put everything else on hold. Like I can't work. Whatever. I'd rather be doing that than working at a grocery store anyway, right?
So how's your sleep schedule?
Actually, it's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how I do it, but I do try to get as much sleep as I can.
Yeah, look at his skin tone. He's got a nice,
I know.
glow going.
So like we're exhausted. We're just looking at him, sun cascading off you, crest white smile. Screw you guys. I get 8 hours. Well, I had a point, but I completely missed it. But either way, how do we play another song?
But which song are we going to play?
I don't know. Let's go for something a little bit. What are you thinking?
Live.
Live? Oh, you want to go for live? Okay.
Revelation.
Okay, I like it. This is a live track which is just off that they managed to record at the Horseshoe Tavern this past week. The song is called Revelation. Anything you can tell me about?
It is called Revelation for short.
Okay.
You are the newest revelation for long. And it's about the theme of our next record, a major theme, is that connection theme that I've been talking about. And most songs seem to look at that from a different angle. So if everything's one, quantum physics is telling us that all matter is connected. You can call that the life force or God or creator or Buddha. I don't know what you want to call it, but whatever you want to call it, if everything is connected, then everything is a revelation. If you look at everyone that way.
I keep getting musicians and bands. I keep bumping into them who use like quantic theory and scientific terms, and I'm just sitting there smiling politely. I have no clue what you're saying, but good on. No.
I think it really means if you're open to seeing that special sacred thing in everything, your life will be better in every moment.
I guess that was a revelation. And this is Revelation live on CFRE Radio.
Is this a rock show or a Celine Dion concert? You are my newest revelation. No one but being anywhere, and not apart from you are here. You're not mine. Space and time is good for you. It's good for everyone. We are one. It's good for all. It's good for you. So good for you. I am here. I hear your words.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned into CFRE Radio. That was The Souls, and we are in the studio with The Souls. Who'd have thunk? We've got Din and we've got Adam. We were talking while the song was going on, and this song originally sounded completely different before you joined the band.
Yes.
And so you basically. You play all the old soul stuff, but you try to make it your own.
Yeah. I mean, like I guess it's more like a kind of a production sort of thing. Like I guess that's the closest. It's like writing, but it's also production. And like this song, Din came to my apartment, and we were just like jamming at this point, like just trying to figure it out. And I don't know, like the melody line for that song just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know.
I think that what I like about Adam is, and I said that to you right away, was when he plays a part, it's like he's singing it with his guitar. It's catchy, it goes right over top of everything and demands to be listened to. It's a melody.
It's a
like
melody on top of the music, on
Yeah.
top of the singing as well.
Yeah.
So we were also talking about Mark, who he was supposed to show up today, but unfortunately he couldn't. It was supposed to be you, Adam, and Mark, I believe, in the studio? Or no, was
Adam,
it Austin?
and I.
Oh,
our
damn.
drummer. Yeah.
I screwed that up, unfortunately.
Oh my God. Flog yourself.
Jeez.
No, trust me, I will.
Flog yourself with one of these mics.
I'm planning on doing that later.
Just take it off the thing and use the wire. Nice metal XLR cable at the end. Get 3 dots.
Maybe when we're not on air. Afterwards, I swear to God.
All right.
But so Mark was a part of the original, because you sent me Joy, and you also told me that he was a part of Sky as well, which was the first album.
Yes, the first official, because I met him in open mics in about 2006 when the original band kind of dissolved, and I was wanting to carry it further and didn't know how to, and Mark was the first person I met who wanted to. And he turned out to be my Obi-Wan Kenobi, basically. Yeah. Because his name, he went by Nadjawan then too, because that was his act and his last name. So I called him Nadjawan Kenobi.
Okay. So Mark is still.
He's like, okay. So Mark,
Moving on.
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to find a proper segue into this. I'm listening at what you're saying, but I'm like, where is the jumping point? How do I find something interesting to bring about Mark? Mark is still playing with the band? Is that?
Yep.
Yeah. Correct. So so he played guitar, he played bass for some of the tracks. You say he's your spiritual advisor in the band?
business advisor.
Business
but
advisor.
Also spiritual advisor, yeah. No attachments.
So, what out of because I subscribe to the theory that a band is the dysfunctional family of your choosing.
Very, yeah.
So what?
That's good.
What would you describe the dynamic of your band? Like, how would you describe what your rules are within the band, and like how like would you be the very business side of it, or like?
No, I'd say Mark is probably more business.
Yeah.
You're the art. For sure.
Yeah, I'm just the arty, weird guy who's always excited about doing the next thing, which might not be a good idea and sometimes is a really great one. But I never stop wanting to do more and more and more,
So you've been around since 2001. You're still playing to this day. That's over 10 years. Do you have any sort of... Because we get a lot of people who tune into the radio who are either want to be a musician or are... new musicians starting out. Do you have any sort of wisdom or experience or horror stories that you'd like to share through playing with the Souls or through, music in general?
I would say that you have to work on it every day. Make sure you do something every day, so it becomes a part of your daily habit. So every day you feel like you're a musician. Of course, days off here and there to relax. But Picasso said the same thing. He went to the beach for a bit, woke up, went to the beach, and then painted every day, no matter what he was feeling. So I do that every day, a little bit of practicing every day. I only write when the song hits me, because those are the only good ones. When I try to write a song, they're horrible. When I get overcome with some really intense emotion, I just pick up my guitar and my hands hit the right chords. I don't even know what I'm doing. And every one of these is one of those. I would say that Mark says don't focus on the 99 rejections, focus on the one success.
Optimism.
That, and it's not, yeah, that's actually like literally, I think, the right number. I mean, this year I applied to about 200 festivals and we got 3.
Yeah.
But you're still playing shows.
So that's
yeah.
about those numbers, you know, so rejected by, so 1.5 rejected by 98.5 festivals.
Now, both of you guys are songwriters. I have to ask, I ask usually with all songwriters, it's sort of like quick fire questions in a way. Do you guys focus on the lyrics or the music first?
Lyrics to, sorry, yeah, go on.
I usually have a riff because I'm a guitarist. Like, I think I'm a guitarist first. And like this is the first band that I've ever been like a lead guitarist in. So I'm really learning that. And like my style of writing is I always have like a riff hanging around and then like just a couple lines, and then just sort of out of nowhere, like Din was talking about, it just happens. Like I can't sit down and force it, but one day it'll just snap, and all of a sudden I have this song.
With Over the Wall, I was kind of writing that for about 5 years and couldn't get it to its fullness. Then he wrote this guitar part. It was a riff. I had a riff for that song. And then he wrote a part that was a louder, more dominant riff, and you can't really hear mine anymore. It's kind of a background texture. And the song is completely different.
So both, I'm trying to get back into my train of thought.
I have some good horror stories, by the way. I just don't want to forget that.
Trust me,
okay.
I'm going to definitely get into the horror stories because
Okay.
everybody has them.
All
Everybody
right.
has really, really good ones. Since both of you are songwriters, how much of the material that you write comes from you? Like, have you ever written a song that isn't like associated with you in some way?
I think most of my songs aren't really about my personal experience, or
Not even through like a breakup song or.
No, I don't. I've never really written one of those.
Really?
Yeah, they're usually more like outside things, like things that are going on in the world and like around me, rather than like I barely ever use the word I in my songs or me. You know, I find it very weird, but I guess it's just how I write.
So you people do exist. It's like Bigfoot. I'm taking a photo and uploading it to Tumblr. No,
A musician that doesn't talk about
me,
me, and I.
You
This is
selfless
strange.
people do exist. I thought you'd all died out in the 80s. No. What about you, Dan?
They're always autobiographical. John Lennon said that too. So even if I take my whole thing with Broken Ghost, even though that was a response to Rob Ford, I knew people. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to talk about my friends' personal lives, but you know, I knew someone who was very close. Well, who basically did become homeless and drug addiction and stuff like that. And it really tore me apart. And because I was so connected to them, I also felt that brokenness. And so the song is a general statement about the universality of homelessness, but it takes a very personal. Second verse. None of us ever understood what happened to you. I guess we're all colorblind to what's black and blue, so this was the cause between that one.
I really love that line, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's like how to get the whole story of this person's life into 4 lines. That's what I like about songwriting, too.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Earlier, you guys mentioned Over the Wall, which is currently my favorite song by you guys. Like, whether hearing it live or anything else, I'm just like, damn, this thing needs to be played over the radio. So I'm going to play for you guys listening in a very special live at the Horseshoe Tavern version of Over the Wall. And we will be right back with some personal horror stories from Din and Adam.
You can see these stickers. Over the wall! My God, Jake, hold on and alive. If I could let it go, I would. I would if I could, and I should. I know every time I caught a set. What you say his name. And our name. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Horseshoe. Thank you, 102.1. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Souls live at the Horseshoe Tavern this past week on Monday. I'm sitting here live in studio with Adam and Din from the Souls. Fantastic performance. Now, before we got into going to the break, you mentioned that you had some personal horror stories for me. So would you like to enlighten the fans today?
Can I sit cross-legged on this chair?
Oh, go ahead. I don't care.
It's a long interview. I got to get comfortable.
Sorry.
This is good, though. It was really in-depth.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, there's a fun horror story.
Okay.
Biking to play a gig at the supermarket.
Okay.
And going very fast. And someone opened their car door on me.
Oh,
and,
no.
My chest impaled into the door, and I flipped over and did a 180 in the air and landed on my back. And I felt like I was okay, actually. And my ribs kind of hurt. So I got to the gig. I played the gig, and I was really mental, like really jumping around a lot. And it was the adrenaline, kind of like when you're on the road, that adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
And then I got off stage, and a girl actually bought me a pint right after. She liked us so much. And, you know, it's kind of an honor when a girl's buying you a pint right after a show. And I grabbed it, and I fainted, and I hit the ground, and I passed out.
Oh,
and they had to carry me home.
Really? The adrenaline was the only thing keeping you afloat?
Yeah, the girl and the beer were keeping me afloat. Like, once the adrenaline died, yeah. So I never got to meet that girl, really.
You see, when we were talking about horror, I'm actually really surprised and concerned now. No, but when I was mentioning horror stories, normally it's like either a technical hiccup or something goes on, not you getting clotheslined by a door and flipping over your handlebars. I mean, God.
And Mark kept calling me like, "You're not dead, are you? We need a singer."
Something stupid always happens on the way to gigs for me. There's always like somebody that road rages on me, and then I have adrenaline for the show.
Uh-oh.
This is a good thing.
So should are you wanted for murder? I can help hide a body. I'm Italian. I'm just saying.
Nope, no comment.
Okay. So you normally have like traffic stuff like road rage and things like that, but have you ever done a gig where everything is sort of falling apart right before you're about to go on the show?
I played this gig in London like with my old band at it was called Moon Over Marin. It was kind of sketchy, and I don't know, like mid set the lights went out. Like, okay. And like, you know, there was a fair amount of people there, so we kept playing in this like dark cave, and then the amps turned off.
Oh, good God.
So we were just like, well, sorry, but you know, the electricity bill must not have been paid here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a
I don't
blown
know.
fuse, just like nothing's working.
Nothing's working.
Wow.
Yeah, the lights overheated. They had a fan on the like light amp thing or whatever,
Okay.
and it, I don't know, it just all like just went away.
Well, we're slowly running out of time. I'm surprised at how much we managed to get through in almost an hour. I will say this. As part of the Souls or as part of whatever band you were
Yeah.
doing in London, we didn't really say the name.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Perfect. What has been your favorite gig so far, as touring as part of the Souls?
You know?
No. I see my buddy Chris Call over there. I'm just waving to him.
Like, I know what it is.
Yeah, I've been stalking the Souls ever since 2003. No.
I really, personally, the recent one we did the fourth night. What did we do? 4 nights?
4 nights.
In Sudbury at the Grace Hartman Amphitheater, part of a cultural festival. And then on the Sunday, it was co-organized by the city. So the city of Sudbury had a free Sunday show. And so, you know, we rock out pretty hard. And we...
As you do.
And there was like no one there the first night. And then every night there was more people. And then finally it was kind of 3/4 full or half full. It was fullish on the Sunday, and we're like, oh, we're gonna get to play for people finally at this big amphitheater. And we look out and we see like strollers and stuff, and it's like a lot of seniors have come for their free concert. We're like, oh boy, we are going to cause heart attacks.
Yeah.
So the sound guy asked us, he turned our volumes down, but we kind of just got together before the show and said, let's do what we do, but kind of try to play to them.
Try to play to the old folks.
Yeah, let's actually see if we can entertain them.
Okay.
And we turned the volume down and we kind of eased up a bit. And it was more of like because it was the fourth night too, so we were really tight and it was meditative.
Yeah,
I
it was
felt
super relaxed.
it was calm, and we connected with them. And at one point, these old women started like waving back and forth, like doing the wave, and then I waved back at them, and then like the whole, you know, more and more people started, and we connected to there was young people there too, but we connected
so cool.
to you know, there was kids, everything from kids to our little following to all these old people, and they all had a great time. And that's when I felt like we're pros now.
Yeah.
We can judge a room and play to it and be entertainers.
Yeah.
Well, that is a very important skill to have. I gotta say though, saying that you were playing the old people, I can only imagine like an old grandmother who's sitting there waving, going, "Why are we waving? Is that my grandson? Where am I?" Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for that. Can I ask, what is the strangest thing that you have seen as being part of a musical act or a performance or something that has come with your experience of being the Souls or being a musician in general?
Strangest thing.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Strange in what way? There's strange things
Like
that I
strange
can't really
audience
mention.
members?
Well, I mean, well, yeah, we got to PG. Like, for example, I saw
A stripper once gave me a free dance after a show.
that.
That was strange.
That is officially going to be my favorite thing ever on the show. Thank God for CFRE. Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to mention Sloan at the Sound of Music Festival 2 years ago. People were throwing. Someone brought like a 12-pack of toilet paper and started chucking it live in the middle of their set. And then in one of their performances, they said, "We have enough. Okay, stop throwing toilet paper." Some guy grabs a basketball and boots it on stage as well. The lead bassist is looking back at it and going, "What the hell, guys?" But either way, you know what? It is 5 o'clock. We've all got places to be. Unfortunately am going up to cottage country in a little bit. I'd like to thank you guys very much for coming down and doing this interview. It means a lot. I swear I will give a copy and you can use it to promote yourself at the end of this. What finally, are there any parting words that Adam and you would like to say, Din?
Well, check out our Facebook page and like us. Facebook.com/thesoulsband, SOLES. And rock and roll is a life force. May it be with you.
And also with you, Obi-Wan.
Well, I just want to thank you for having us. It's awesome.
Well, it's a pleasure, Adam. Once again, I'm a really huge fan of your sound. That is The Souls. They have a new album that is coming out. Have you thought of a title yet for the album?
We have a tentative one, but I don't think we should say it.
No.
Should we?
Oh, no? Okay. Well, I will say this. Souls are a very interesting band. You should see them perform live. Trust me, you're going to enjoy yourselves. They have their third album, which is going to be released as soon as they can come up with a name. Over the Wall, which was played there, is one of my favorite songs, hearing by a Toronto-based band, period, for now. And in closing, as we are about to sign off, did you enjoy this broadcast? Would you like to hear more? Do you have any ideas for any potential interview subjects? Or are you in a band? Or maybe you have ideas for my next top 5 list. I am available live on Twitter under the username SonicMTD. That is capital S, small O, small N, small I, small C, capital MTD. And I am always available to talk with fans and, of course, bring in guests. If you think you've got an album or a show that you'd like to promote, I am more than willing to talk to you and bring you into the show. But either way, today is Wednesday, August 21st. It is 5:02 p.m. I'd like to wish everybody a very happy Wednesday and keep on rocking in the free world.